What's up, college football fans and Locked In family? Today, I'm bringing you the latest news on the first big patch or update to EA College Football 25. Now, let's get locked into it. So first and foremost, we know that even though EA was cooking leading up to the drop of EA College Football 25, they've had to tweak the recipe just a little bit in some aspects. First and foremost, we have overall gameplay, with EA stating included 8 new shotgun formations to a total of 35 teams. Bunch quads open, known as diamond quads, added to teams including Texas Tech, Western Michigan, Deuce Twins over, Buffalo Toledo, Slot F Wing, North Carolina State Liberty, Split Pro Far, North Carolina State Liberty, Split Pro Near, North Carolina State, Tight White Off Flex, Florida, Wing, Halfback Weak Close, Indiana, Minnesota, Wing Slot Over, Texas A&M, Kansas State. Tuning and logic enhancements to pursuit angles. Introduce new behavior that further differentiates players with high pursuit ratings versus lower pursuit ratings. Now, we all know them pursuit angles been devastating to most players, especially on Heisman difficulty, because some offenses had no business outrunning me to the sideline and taking it to the house, while my linebackers just stood there like they tried to help the running backs create a highlight tape. Following that, a dev note stated, "We will monitor feedback on how this change impacts gameplay, and based on results could make further adjustments in a future title update." Following, we have other adjustments such as reduce frequency of broken tackles from trailing defenders, fix various instances of where broken play plugs, fix issue where certain formations had offensive players aligned too wide when on the near or far hash, fix the issue where you could not use 4-2-5 or 3-3-5 formations in a custom playbook, fixed an issue where single back formations would be assigned the wrong name when creating a custom playbook, fixed an issue where spiking the ball in online modes was not working as part of the Turbo Tempo system, fixed an issue so a speed option running back will follow the quarterback longer, adjusted AI QB behavior on shot plays to make more lob throws versus bullet passes, adjusted AI QB behavior to be less aggressive based on awareness rating, adjusted AI offensive line behavior result in illegal man downfield penalties during RPO style plays. Now, there is a development note after that. For best chances at success, make sure you press the icon of which receiver you want to throw to before the running back receives the ball. Following, adjust the DB's ability to more effectively shed blocks on the perimeter, increase the speed penalty for running out of stamina during play. QB scrambles behind the line of scrimmage will lose stamina at a faster rate. Fixed an exploit where players would leave a QB-contained player unblocked and run around them. Now, I had the biggest issues with that as well for me. And then following that, there's a development note. We will make further improvements to QB contain in future title updates. Now, overall, it has seemed like defensive side of the ball has been quite a struggle. It seems EA has been taking a real look to get things patched up, as you can see. They increased the reward players receive for shading inside or outside correctly in man coverage versus passing routes, adjusted false start chances when you make pre-play adjustments late in the play clock, fixed an issue where run-fit defenders were not responding as effectively to Wildcat run plays, made an adjustment to Wildcat unbalanced motion zone play, reduced the effectiveness of multiple laterals in a single play, adjusted the thresholds required to receive the most effective juke and spin move, adjusted press animations to be more of an effective counter to the takeoff ability, updated pass protection mechanic to only include the running back in a protection if they are already on a block or block and release assignment. So this is just furthermore issues being fixed or adjusted, because we see most issues were falling on defensive side of the ball, causing me personally to woosah between plays, okay? Now, regarding the abilities portion, EA adds in, updated the coloring of platinum tier abilities to further distinct the look versus silver abilities, rebalanced the gold and platinum tiers of the juke and spin abilities like 360 and sidestep, rebalanced the platinum tier of extended ability, which includes not firing on QB design run plays, slightly rebalanced the effectiveness of the gold and platinum tiers of the quick jump ability. Additionally, we made adjustments to the tier levels found on the Texas front 7. So for all the highlights of you guys thinking that you're getting away with these defenders crying in the car with the juke and 360 spin back-to-back spamming OP, just know they coming for you. Know that. But we'll see how good or bad that may affect that from here on out. Now for the Dynasty players, some good news. And if you ask me, FCS was scheming. Okay, EA fixed the issue where players were unable to have more than 20 created coaches at one time in an online Dynasty league. Various fixes around score summaries and box scores, various fixes to news stories, introduced a new playoff bracket screen, updated Texas versus Oklahoma rivalry data, discovered that FCS Southeast, Midwest, and Northwest were secretly using professional players and passing them off as collegiate players, gave them sanctions, and ensured they are now using properly rated players. And there's a dev note. For this change to go into effect, you will need to create a new dynasty. So if you definitely want this to take effect, make sure you do that, okay? Also, they fixed an issue where wear and tear did not recover for FCS teams, resulting in a higher number of FCS team injuries during gameplay, reduced dynamic attendance penalties for playing FCS teams, increased dynamic attendance in rivalry games, returned toughest places to play formula to reduce the impact that large stadiums have on toughest places to play, and increase the value of filling the stadium and winning games at home, historically reduced impact of raw crowd size, increased impact of historical win rate, increased impact of attendance rate. They updated right-hand panel and stadium atmosphere grade on my school screen to accurately reflect the toughest places to play at all times. Increased the accumulation of prize stickers, particularly for defensive players and offensive linemen. Reduced the chance to transfer penalty for players rated below 90 overall. Updated coach talents on Wyoming offensive coordinator. Dev note stating, for this charge to go in effect, once again, you will need to create a new dynasty. Now, if you do not too much care about this, you can go ahead and leave it as is. But I know a lot of people had some complaints within Dynasty with these specific issues, and EA is paying attention. So definitely make sure you create a new dynasty. Again, if you want this to go ahead and take effect. Following, defensive schemes and playbooks for the following teams have been updated. Dev note, for this change to go into effect, once again, they are trying to stress this to everyone. You have to create a new dynasty. And with that update, the teams USC, UCLA, Mississippi State, Texas Tech, UConn, Miami, Memphis, Nevada, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Oregon State, San Jose State, TCU, Texas A&M, Troy, and UMass. Updating your coach's playbook and the schemes and playbook screen will now update your team scheme and should be reflected in team needs. They fixed an issue where offensive linemen would appear in the preseason Heisman Watch in the future seasons. They updated the Heisman Watch logic to reduce the value of receiving touchdowns. So if you're familiar with Road to Glory, Dynasty, you remember seeing more wideouts than any other position, so that should definitely be fixed. But offensive line being on Heisman, now that's astronomical. Let's proceed as far as recruiting. Now here's a big dev note. This is the biggest one I've seen on here. Our primary goals for this update were to remove most of the recruiting strategies that were discovered during early access and to smooth out the pain points our players were reporting. Recruiting is a delicate balance as we want to try to make things as realistic as possible. while also allowing players to live out their football fantasies. With that in mind, we decide to introduce additional recruiting logic and balance the changes. They fix an issue where teams were pursuing too many quarterbacks in high school recruiting, reduce the number of unrecruited 4 and 5 stars early in the season, increase the number of players that the AI will pursue at one time. And following that, another dev note, the above changes strive to decrease the number of players that go unrecruited until late in the cycle, while also slightly reducing how aggressive the AI could be with those recruits once they start to recruit them. Our goal is to deliver fun but balanced recruiting experience that feels rewarding to all players. We will monitor the impacts these changes have on the overall recruiting experience and continue to adjust as needed. So this should hopefully help us for sure with pursuing those much needed quarterback fill-ins, especially when it came to make or break our team following the next season. And hopefully for those who are lucky, get those stars for the detrimental programs you're trying to work out the mud. With that, we have visits. EA fixed an issue where you could not schedule visits for recruits in certain situations, fixed an issue where a visit remained scheduled even if a recruit was removed from a board, fixed an issue where allowed the number of visits scheduled for a week to exceed 4, tuned visit influence effects, remove initial influence when scheduling a visit, increase disparity between winning and losing a game during a visit, tune the logic for game stakes to better account for ranked teams, increase the penalty for choosing a visit activity that the team does not have a high grade in or the player is not interested in. Next, we have Super Sim. Increase handoff rate for simulated RPOs or run play options to increase the number of running plays across the country, especially for teams with a lot of RPOs in their playbook. Various tuning fixes to increase the gap between good and bad teams/players. And there's a dev note. We are going to continue to monitor the simulation results to ensure that teams and players are performing within expected ranges, including reducing frequency of upsets based on preseason projections and expected win totals. Now, I'm glad that they are looking to fix the issue, or did fix the issue, because on certain plays, it could be 3 inches, and with the wide open gap, a QB would automatically opt to pass the ball rather than do the smart decision and hand it off to the running back like we got Pete Carroll on the sideline. All right, as far as polls, increase the loss penalty for schools with more than 1 loss, increase the weighing of conference prestige in the poll calculation, reduce variance in college football playoff poll logic versus media/coaches. And there's a dev note. As with the other systems mentioned above, we will continue to monitor the poll system to ensure that it strikes a balance between realism and reward for player success. All right, then we have custom conferences/custom schedules. There's a dev note. We will continue to monitor feedback about custom conference and scheduling. Based on this feedback, we plan to continue making adjustments in the future title updates. Fix an issue in conference rules where divisions were charged to off, even if those divisions were previously turned on. Fix an issue where the Independents tab disappeared when removing all teams from the Independent. And there's a dev note following that as well. This also fixes issues with tabs to the right of the Independents having incorrect or missing data. Now, this is one of the things that truly need to be looked into, because me catching UAB as number 1 in the polls to even be in the top 20 had me dismayed, okay? I mean, it gave Crimson fans something to look forward to, but still, come on now. Moving forward, EA addressed UI issues around the conference title game for the CUSA and Pac-12, addressed UI issues around Dynasty teams select UI appropriately respecting custom conference moves, updated text in a team header on the custom schedule screen. Now, for Road to Glory, EA made a few changes when they added an additional scenario and NIL content, fixed rare issues where you get scenario reward screen that did not align with your received bonuses, fixed an issue where users were getting skill points maxed out after completing a practice, fixed a crash when quitting a position battle, reworked wear and tear UI to show position appropriate ratings impacts, fixed an issue where you cannot equip a mental ability during the Road to Glory player creation flow if you enter a settings menu during creation, fixed an issue where meter mental progress is not tracked during bye weeks, fixed an issue where it is impossible to lose coach trust once you reach max coach trust, fixed an issue related to the display of coach trust when a user is close to max coach trust, fixed an issue where you cannot upgrade your player during bye weeks, increased an issue related to the display of weekly energy in the meter screen, refixed an issue with mental goals not tracking correctly or reaching platinum correctly, fixed UI issues around text messages, fixed an issue where backing out of the team selection step in Road to Glory creation can soft lock the mode, fix an issue where a player can continue to work on academics after graduating early. Now, what about player trust? If you ask me, I had trust issues after gaining trust for a starter one season and then back to third string the next season. The audacity. Although glad they did fix it though. As far as text messages, Delaney got one more time to try and set me up with going to a party, knowing good and well I have night classes. The setup for a downfall is real. Moving on, College Football Ultimate Team. Generating best lineup no longer changes your equipped visuals and playbook. Players' portraits will no longer appear on non-player items after filtering or sorting. Fixed a crash that occurred during kicking off at halftime when playing champs. Attributes on the front of players' items should update correctly after a player item has been upgraded. Fixed an issue that was occurring when highlighting the renamed title tile on the UT Hub. Fixed an issue with Squads 3v3 that prevented two users from being able to connect to the game. Fixed an issue with the orientation pack that was preventing new users from being able to upgrade their lineup and progress through the orientation field pass. Fixed an issue on the player profile screen that prevented users from being able to transition with the profile selections. Remove the green gavel icon that appeared on owned items placed on the auction house. Fixed a crash with house rules touchdown tango that triggered when the play clock reached 0. Player items displayed on the new item screen no longer appears transparent when not highlighted. When viewing challenge details, the yardage marker is now displayed within the conditions. On the lineup screen, names of players in backup slots contributing to chemistry should change in scale when highlighting a chemistry boost. Improved UI around attributes that are receiving chemistry boosts when viewing the attributes tab of the item detail screen. Fixed issue was causing long load transitions on the new item screen during the first time user experience. Now I must admit, I haven't did much digging into Cut, but I may try it on a chill day or in the future. Furthermore, the difficulty star for challenges now displays correctly with scrolling down the play co-op list. Fix an issue that was causing users error out to the main hub when trying to access the auction house. Conference filters in the auction house now work correctly. Fix stability issues for users entering Ultimate Team for the first time. As far as presentation, they added new uniform pieces for Baylor, Oregon, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Bowling Green, Northwestern, UTEP, Boise State, New Mexico State, Appalachian State, Texas State, Louisiana, New Mexico, and South Alabama. Adjusted uniform pieces for 2024 season, TCU, Arkansas, Missouri, Baylor. Various improvements made the team's uniform pieces for authenticity. Updates have been made to the following stadiums: Holiday Bowl, Texas State, Kansas, Kennesaw State, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest, UL Monroe, Nebraska. Fixed an issue where the UCS mascot would disappear during the opening ceremony. Fixed an issue where the incorrect mascot would appear during different situations. Restored open chance for Penn State, FSU, or Florida State University. and Tennessee on Xbox Series S. Now, this is a great situation because no matter what team you play or are a fan of, you want the most authenticity. And we know EA may still be working on a few developments, but hey, what they've done so far only can be good signs for the future. Last but not least, road to college football playoff. Tier rebalancing, reconstruction changing the format from 3 tiers to 5 tiers, and they leave a further message. At the end, we have been in awe of how passionate you all are about College Football 25, and we can't wait to see your feedback and gameplay. Thank you all so much for your continued support. What school have you chosen to represent? Let us know. College Football 25 team. It's great to see EA put some strides to make this experience great overall moving forward, and it's up to us to continue to give feedback and hold them accountable. Though overall, EA's putting in some good effort. Now, if you want to check out the article yourself, the link will be in the description below. Now, I thank you all for checking out this video. I definitely plan on bringing out more, and any update that I do find, I definitely will continue to bring that out. I thank you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. And remember, stay locked in.